what you got to measure up to, lads.
Do you not think,
What?
well, like, maybe we're a little white for that kind of thing?
Do you not get it, lads? The Irish are the blacks of Europe, and Dubliners are the blacks of Ireland. And the Northside Dubliners are the blacks of Dublin. So say it once, say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud.
I saw a movie called The Commitments, and I was just enamored with the characters and the story, and it was just a wonderful film. It had all the kind of things that I like to do in movies. It had humor, it had drama, it had pathos, it well-established characters, brilliant dialogue, and I saw their name. And I said, these are two gentlemen I have to meet.
Mr. Macy, I'm Special Agent in charge, Ernest Paxton.
In charge of what? Fucking me over for another 3 decades?
I don't know anything about your previous matters. I'm here because a special situation exists that we feel you might be able to help us with.
Now, what might that be?
We were working on The Rock and on the script process with Sean Connery. We'd had a couple of drafts done, or 3 or 4 drafts done on the film. And Sean wasn't getting quite what he wanted for his character, for the dialogue. Somebody who understood his exact way of saying things, how he would react to situations. And he said, you know, there's these writers I worked on a Bond picture with, and it happened to be Dick and Ian.
Good to see you, Mr. Bond. Things have been awfully dull round here. Bureaucrats running the old place, everything done by the book. Can't make a decision unless the computer gives you the go-ahead.
I mean, we went into that movie when it was already 3 weeks into shooting, and it was in big trouble. And the analogy I always made was it's a little bit like being plumbers when somebody's basement's flooded. You know, they're very pleased to see you when you turn up because you didn't flood the basement and maybe you can pump it out.
I'd like you to see the irriголogist at 4, have a colonic at 5, and then you can cut along to the light dining room and have a refreshing cup of parsley tea.
We're always tempted to recycle jokes. I mean, we did use one in the same, it's not a similar joke, it's the same joke in Never Say Never Again as in Porridge, and it's sort of, if you see them back to back, it's quite amusing.
Mr. Bond, I need a urine sample. If you could fill this beaker for me.
From here? Well, you see those flasks over there? I want you to fill one for me.
What, from here?
We call it homage. We don't call it recycling. But it doesn't happen very often. You get caught. It's amazing.
Now you're on this. I hope we're going to have some gratuitous sex and violence.
I certainly hope so, too.
When we did The Rock, we didn't attempt to touch the action sequences. They were already storyboarded, and they basically worked. And, you know, that wasn't what they needed from Dick and Ian. You know, what they did need was particularly the scenes between Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage, you know, the dialogue between those two.
You've been around a lot of corpses. Is that normal?
Well, the feet thing?
Yeah, the feet thing.
Yeah, that happens.
I'm having kind of a hard time concentrating. Can you do something about it?
Like what? Kill him again?
You know, when you work with writers, they always say, yeah, we'll get you the pages, they're coming like a week later. Dick and Ian, I'm like, Dick and Ian, I need the pages. Like, okay, you'll have them at 5 o'clock. Sure enough, a fax would come in. Here are the pages.
Yes, she's here. Bring it to me now. Thank you, Phil.
What's that? Where'd you get it sent here?
Carla wouldn't approve. She thinks it's dumb to spend $600 on an LP.
Carla's right. Why don't you just spend $13 on a CD, man?
First of all, it's because I'm a Beatlemaniac. And second, these sound better.
I kept watching thinking, yes, there's one of Ian's. You could hear the ones that they'd slotted in, you know, Connery's wry asides.
Are you enjoying this?
Well, it's certainly more enjoyable than my average day. Reading philosophy, avoiding gang rape in the washrooms. Though it's less of a problem these days. Maybe I'm losing my sex appeal.
If you look at the credits of The Rock, you'll see the assistant carpenter's name and the limo driver's name, but you will not see that we had anything to do with it. I say that as a fact. I'm not saying it out of bitterness. Fortunately, the business knew that we had something to do with it, and people, you know, so that it helps our careers because people are coming to us knowing that we had something to do with it.
Dick and I are doing a film now with Alicia Silverstone, which has been edited, then it's been re-edited, it has been sneaked twice, and we're still working on it. We're still doing lines over someone's shoulder.
I'm getting it back.
You could probably add a line on there when he's got a head on.
It's been long enough.
Why is she still in this car at this point? Why doesn't she say, I've gone far enough, open the door, let me out?
And then she says, well, look, I have my reasons, and we both have reasons to disappear. So why don't we just stick it out? And he looks at it and she says, have I been properly?
Yeah, a solid diet of this would obviously not have one's life in balance. So it's very important to have your more personal movies that are really you, with your own voice. But I find a balance between the original work and the rewrites actually to be very stimulating.
It's not a second-rate job at all. It's an important job. I don't have any apologies to make for rewriting. But I might have thought that way a few years ago. I might have thought, no, this is preventing us moving on. This is just paying the rent. And then I've learned it isn't.
I think most people would give their right arm to be doing what Dick and Ian are doing in Hollywood. So I don't think that they've wasted anything. I think, if anything, we've been lucky enough to benefit from their output.
They were playing Land of Hope and Glory on National Public Radio in the hailstorm the other day as I drove home. Don't know why, and I felt very emotional.
I think Dick did in the 80s went through his period where he got disillusioned and really wanted to go back, but less than I did.
We've tried all the time to continue working for Britain and using the English voice. I mean, the film that we're in development with now called Still Crazy is a very English movie, and we are dying to make it because it really is a personal expression of what we do. So I would always want to write for Britain.
I think the next 3 or 4 years could be fantastic. Certainly we're working harder now than we ever have. I think we've just about got it right. I think we're almost there.
More laughs from St Swithin's next on BBC One with the Doctors in Love.
But you don't ask their names, that's living alright. Yeah, you play the game, then it's happy to say, that's living alright.
We had some busting times though, didn't we?
No.